Hi everybody, welcome back to Reach and Bella Crafts. I hope you're all well. So for today's video, basically I'm getting myself in a bit of a mess because I've got so much ephemera about the place now, and I need to cut it out, but I'm afraid to cut it out because I don't know where to keep it. So a little task that I've been wanting to do for quite some time is to make myself some ephemera books because I just don't have any. That's a lie, I have one. It's one that Mum made, and I'd completely forgotten I had it. Actually, it was on the bookcase downstairs. So I've been down and grabbed that, but I want to make some smaller ones. So we're going to be using a similar sort of style to this one here, but with one slight difference on the inside. Please excuse me taking periodic drinks. My voice is okay as long as it stays wet. So what we're going to be doing is, I'm showing you now this design. I'm not going to be using this design. I'm going to be using a different design, but I want to show you this design so that you have got options, you've got alternate ideas, because you may not have the materials that I'm working with, but you may have these materials. So it may spark an idea for you. So we will be doing something similar as in the cover. I'm going to be using rings. Finally, I found a use for these things. They've been in my drawer for so long. And we are also going to be using a hardback book, the cover. So this is the time now to use some of those books that you've previously gutted, because I don't know if you're anything like me, but I've got loads of these covers just sitting in a bag. So I was like, right, let's use them. Inside of this one here, when Mum made this, she's used, I think this is watercolour paper or maybe acrylic paint paper, so it's quite thick. It's great stuff to use. Sorry, and she's used book pages, which she's folded in half to make the pockets, which is brilliant. And I really love this design and the way that she's done this. My only problem is I want to make something that holds some smaller ephemera. So I was thinking, how am I going to be able to see what's in them? So I'll show you what we're going to do. I've prepped most of it. The stuff that I can explain to you, I've already done, just to save you a bit of time. And then the rest I thought we'd do together. So I've got two examples of covers. There's two different ways in which you can do this. So I've got one hardback cover here, which I've started to cover with fabric, mainly because it wasn't a very attractive book. Well, let's call it a spade. It was ugly. So I thought now is the time to use some fabrics. Little tip for this project: this is the time to use all your favourite stuff. You know, the things that we hoard, you know, our favourite cardstock, our favourite fabrics. And I'm talking, it's time to kind of get your jewel swatches out, or your pretty fabrics, or just whatever it is that you're keeping by and thinking to yourself, oh, I love that pattern, I'll make something with that one day. Now's the time to get it out, because this book is going to sit on your desk. It's going to be part of your stationery. It's going to be the most used book that you open up every time you sit down and craft. So it needs to be something that really makes you feel motivated to craft. It needs to be aesthetically pleasing, and to just, you know, I mean, if you have a theme, all pink or all blue, you know, go with that. But it also needs to be something that's visible. So, you know, it's not all white, okay? And just for those of you that are panicking, thinking, I don't have any nice fabrics, I've covered this with a tea towel. So this isn't going to be expensive. Having fabric isn't going to be expensive. I had this bundle of tea towels, which I think we picked up either in Aldi. Oh, is there a label on there? That would have been helpful. Oh, it doesn't say. No, it doesn't. It was either in Aldi's or in Wilkinson's, but wherever it was that they were picked up, they were like either £3 or £4, if that. And I've just covered this book with one of them because I really liked that stripy pattern, and I had a nice check. And in fact, there were 5 of them in there. But these are brilliant because they're so hard wearing. So, you know, anything at all, but make sure that you like it. You don't want something that's going to be sitting on your desk that is not attractive or isn't inspiring you to open it. Otherwise, you'll create it, you'll stuff it full of all that beautifully cut out ephemera, and then you'll never pick it up and open it. Okay, so that's just a little tip from me there. You can either do a cover like this, where you've got the spine still intact, and you will then have to thread the signatures. I am not going to be showing you that version today. The version I'm going to be doing today is the one with the rings. So if that is what you want to do, hold that thought, because I'll be coming back to that tomorrow. But today, I am going to use this book because this is lovely and I've had this sat there quite some time. So what I've done is I have literally cut the spine out. I got my craft knife earlier on, at the moment you guys, and I just literally sat there, took my metal rule and I just cut down the side there, and I did the same there. And then I found some nice floral washi tape and I've just taped the edges. You don't have to do that, but I just wanted to because I just thought that'll be a nice neat finish on there, and I've done the same with that one there. So that's the preparation then for the cover. And because I've picked an attractive cover book, I don't need to do anything to it. And because when the book was taken apart, it was done really carefully and the inside papers were left, I don't need to do anything to it. So that's the ideal, okay? If you don't have that, you can always cover your boards with fabric, as I've started to do here. And then to finish, I'll just simply be putting some nice cardstock over the top of that there, and I will put fabric in the middle to create a new spine. So, you know, but you can do, if you don't have a book, you can do this with cardstock. It's not, you know, having a hard book cover is not a necessity. You could do this with a cereal box. You could do it with anything that's going to make you chipboard. 2 hardcovers, that's all we need for this project. Okay, so that's just, I don't ever like people to feel excluded from a project if they don't have what I'm working with. Come on guys, we're creative crafters, you've got to think outside the box. Rings. Now, if you don't have rings, you can attach, if you don't have rings, you're going to have to thread your book, and you're going to have to, what do we call it? Bind it. That's the word I was looking for, not thread. You have to bind the book. These you can get, I bought a pack of these from Amazon, ages ago now. They were a 10 pack. These are 2 inches in diameter or 50 millimeters. I'll try and find a link for you. But if you don't have, if you don't want to buy them from there, another little tip, these are revision cards that I believe I bought, I want to say either in Asda or Wilkinson's, and they come with these rings, look. So you'd have all these index cards and a free ring. I'm sure I paid something like 99 pence for this. I bought 3 of them when they were in the sale. They usually go into the sales after all the uni students have gone back to uni, so about October, November time. But yeah, it came with this ring on it. So I've got a couple of things with these rings on, and I'm just keeping them by. So the next thing that you're going to need is going to be what we would call our pages normally. I'm going to be working with acetate today, mainly because I'm quite determined to work with what I have. Now, I'm not for 1 minute expecting you all to have the same materials in your cupboards as I've got in mine, but I have had a pack of acetate in my attic, oh my goodness, for a long time. And I've known I wanted to use it for this project, but it's just, I mean, you could do this with vellum. If you're going to do it with vellum, I suggest you double the vellum up, because vellum is not as durable as acetate. It tends to tear a little easier, but acetate is just ideal for this. Now, where would you get acetate from? Well, when you buy rubber stamps, they come on acetate, so you could always pinch some out of that. What else do we end up with acetate? Oh, I tell you when you get acetate. When you buy stuff like this, there's always a piece of acetate. Stickers, they'll come on a piece of acetate. And that is the perfect size to make a pocket, because that's what we're doing. We're using the acetate to make the pockets. So think about your packaging when you're opening these things up, guys. You know, when you've got stickers, when you've got decals, anything like that, they very often come with a piece of acetate inside, usually because the things are stuck on them. All right, so hold on to those because they're really handy. So what I have done is I put 3 one on top of the other, and actually they cut really nicely on my paper cutter, which I wasn't expecting. I thought they might tear, but they didn't. They cut beautifully. So I've measured them so that they were the widths of my pieces of card, and I did a batch of them. So that's what you'll need. But again, measure your cards to make sure that they're going to go across ways. Now, what am I using as the page as well? Again, I'm using stuff out of my attic, because I used to work in a school, so I was a business manager. I used to have lots and lots of files, and went crazy one year and bought loads of dividers. My son then went to college. I was like, oh, good, you can use the dividers I bought. He used 2 packs of them. They're just bouncing around up there. So I thought, you know what, these would be ideal. So what I've done is I've taken the divider, I've folded it in half. I'm keeping that on the bottom. I'll come back to that later. And I have then attached, sorry, my noisy bottle. I've then attached the acetate to the dividers. Now, I did this in 3 different ways to kind of give you some examples. At first, I thought this would be really sensible to do this with the card open, in case this pocket's not in the same place as that pocket and I make a mess. So hence why I did it like that. But I do need to seal this shut, so I will go and stitch down there in a moment. And not only that, but obviously it was hiding all of the mess behind, wasn't it? So that was the first one I did there. The second one I did differently. So I had 1 pocket this side, 2 pockets that side. So if you're going to not have them done the same, I would recommend you would stitch them while the card is open. Then afterwards, seal your card shut. Now, you don't have to use dividers. You possibly don't have dividers. I don't actually have any cards to hand because it's not something that I don't buy packs of card. I've got cardstock here, the big 12x12s. They would be ideal. But I actually really wanted to use these up. And they're nice and bright and colourful. I thought they would match rather nicely, look, with all the colours on my cover. So again, this one here now, I wanted to do the same. So I've got a little pocket at the top for my labels, look, and then I've got a bigger one then. So I've actually stitched this in place together. I shut it and I've just stitched around. And what I did to make sure that my pockets were lined up was I got a paper clip. I'll just show you. And I placed my paper clip on to hold the acetate in place, and I used the back line as my guide. So I lined that up with the bottom of that pocket there, and then I turned it over and I made sure then that this pocket here was lined up with that line there. So I knew then that they were pretty much bang on, because I just wanted to make sure my stitching didn't like run on up or run on down or something. So yeah, that was just a little tip. You could washi tape them in place just to make sure if you're going to do them either side, because as I stitched that line there, it would be an awful shame if then on the other side the pocket was too high or too low or what have you. I did make one error, this one, which I've turned into a happy accident. So this one, it slipped and I didn't notice. So that one was nice and straight, and then when I turned it over, that pocket had gone down like that. So it was not nice and straight, but I thought actually that might be quite handy getting things in and out of there to have a bit of a, you know, a gradient. So all I did was take my knife and I just very carefully cut the excess off that side and took that away. So it wasn't a huge amount, as you can see, but it was enough, you know. So yeah, so I've got different types of pockets done. Excuse me. Now what I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to do then is, obviously these will be nice large pockets inside. So not only have I got pockets on the outside, but I'll be able to store then in there. Not this one obviously, because this one, I sealed this one shut. So there's just a little tiny pocket in the top of there. But all of the rest, they go all the way through. Oh, I need to seal that one shut at the bottom. I just stitched the side up on that one. But all the rest, they will go all the way through. So that I'll be able to put perhaps tall tags in there or something like that, but something that obviously is just going to be too long to go in the pocket maybe. So that's the signatures done. Excuse me, sorry. Then what do we need to do now? So now we can start to put it together. So let's do the fun stuff now, shall we? So the next thing that we're going to do now is put our eyelets into our book. Now, probably all going to laugh at me when I say this now, but I've got these eyelets here. They are wide eyelets. They've got a 1/2 inch head. I don't know if that means anything to anybody, but oh, they're 3/16 and 1/2 centimetre. Sorry, not 1/2 inch. There's 40 wide eyelets in here. That's what I'm trying to say out loud. But I've not used these ones before. I usually use the ones that have got the little heads. But I thought, I'm going to give these a go. So I don't know if these are for anything specific. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know why they have that wide edge around them. I don't know if it's just for aesthetics. But I just thought that might look quite cool on there. So the only thing left for me to do now is to pick a colour. I might actually go with the gold, because it'll bring out the yellow. Now, the question is, do we put in 2 holes or do we put in 3? Because I noticed on the one that Bella's done, she has put in 3 holes. but I'm guessing she obviously didn't have enough rings, so she only put 2 rings in. And stability wise, I would say that's pretty stable. It's not going anywhere, do you know what I mean? So realistically speaking, this book is smaller than this one. I think 2 holes will suffice. So I think it would be safe to go with just 2 holes. So what do we need to do? We need to measure these holes now, don't we? We need to make sure that, again, they're going to be lined up in the same place. So it doesn't really matter where they go, just as long as they go in the same place on this side to this side. I'm thinking perhaps we'll go, should we go 2.5, 2.5? Yeah, that makes sense, I think. 6.5 centimetres up. And obviously I don't want to go in too far, so 2.5. Okay. And then leaving that in place so I don't lose my spot. I'm going to come backwards 2.5. So I'm already on, what am I on then? I'm on 1/4. Why does the measurement never, oh, turn the ruler around, Rach. Being really awkward here. Right, where's my line? See, I was supposed to kick off then, look. Oh, it's terrible, isn't it? Just put up a little mini rage then with the ruler. Just turn it around, Rachel. There we go, 2.5. Now, how far in have I gone is the next question. So I've gone in, really, just 1 centimetre? I'm going to say, yeah, okay. Right, well, the other way in which I can make sure that they go in the same distance, of course, is to literally lie them on top of the other. We all do this differently, so there's no point looking at my measuring technique because my brain works very differently to your brains. And people who perhaps are dyslexic will do this in a different manner as well. Because when it comes to measuring, I think it's a very personal approach. I watch a lot of, what am I doing, a tutorial? I watch a lot of tutorials and I think, gosh, it's cack-handed you doing that there. Why are you doing that at such a funny angle? And yet then you'll probably look at me and think, Rachel, what are you doing? The other thing as well is I can't do maths on camera. And it does stress me a little bit, I'll be honest. But I don't know what it is, that just doesn't look like it's in the same place there. But it is. How bizarre, it must be the tape. That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah, I just need to make sure basically that these holes are in the same place. So I'm going to cut this one. Oh, I'm dull. Right, there you are. I've worked it out myself. Rachel, cut through it and then drew the holes through the circles. Silly Billy. I can't believe I didn't think of that. I would love to know what you were all screaming at me at that point when you were saying, Rach, just do blah, 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 blah. What were you all suggesting? Did you think of that then? Oh, yeah, and that's the other thing as well. That's what this is for. And I keep forgetting. This tool does it all for you. And I keep forgetting that. And I get really stressed when it comes to measuring stuff because I always get my holes wrong. There we go. Ha-ha. Right. That's better. Now, place it on top of each other. Oh, Rachel, honestly, you're so clever. Why didn't you think of this sooner? Draw a little hole. And then another one. Ta-da! And we know the distance because we've just done it. There we are. Make sure it's in the middle. You know I'm going to cut out all that and now and go straight to the clever idea, don't you? I'll forget all this by the time I come to edit. You're going to hear all my fumbling and mumbling now. And I'm sitting here feeling really pleased with myself. Right, there we go. Let's have a look. Do they match? Oh, look at that. My son always uses this term, but that's really satisfying. Mum. That is really satisfying. You won't believe how often I mismeasure my holes. I can't believe I never thought of doing that. That's just fabulous. Love it. Right, do them like that, okay? Whatever I just did then, do the holes like that. Right, okay. Oh, we need to put these in now. Don't get too excited. You want to finish up. Right. Oh, they're not going to fit. Oh, they do. They do. Panic over. Are they deep enough, though? That's the question. I don't think they are. Nicky Knocky knew. And it was all going so well. Right. Where is my tin of... Okay. See, I was super organised, but I didn't think about the depths, did I? Oh, there they are. Gordon Bennett, if they'd had teeth, it'd have bitten me. Right, please let me have some deeper ones. Right. I bet I haven't. I never thought of the depth. Silly Billy. No, they're not much better either. What did you use in there then? Oh, I see. Mum's are a bit short as well. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Maybe we're just going to have to go with it and just hope that they stay in. Because I don't think I've got anything longer there. What about that one there? That one looks taller. Ah, right. Okay. That's the size I need. Right. Bear with. I'll be back now. Just sort these out. Okay. Panic over. I have found 4 that will fit. So, next job now is to put these in. I can't imagine. No, I don't think that would take much clamping somehow. There we go. So bear that in mind if you're using eyelets. Make sure that you make sure that they're wide enough for your board. Okay. Don't be like me. Be informed. What were those memes that were going around a couple of years back? Don't be like. Oh, I can't think now. They had all these daft, like, I don't know, I can't think. Never mind. Anyway, ignore me. I'm waffling. Right, job done there. Very nice. So the next thing we're going to do now is these. And we need to decide now where these are going to sit within the thing. The thing. That's my technical term. So I'm going to do one. And then I'm going to do the same process again. I'm going to tip it upside down, draw through the holes. What I need to make sure of is that actually probably best if that tips right back. So then from the outside, they're all like even Stevens, if that makes sense. There we go. So let's tip that back there, put them down there a minute, draw a little line. Hope that that was in the right place. That moved slightly now. Just double check, because obviously it's double checking these little details that makes or breaks the project, isn't it? Because you don't want to do all that work and then it not be right and them all be. Oh, that's why I can't see, because I'm drawing on a piece of acetate. Silly girl. Can I even see that there? No. Okay. Biro time. Okay. Just did that, Rich. Just did that. And then this side. Please make a mark. Oh, I can see it. I can see it. Yay! Right. Let me get my crocodile. And then this side. There we go. Make sure that that plastic has come out of there properly. So I might just need to just snip that off. Watch your fingers. There we go. Okay, so that's good to go. Okay, so once you've done that first one safely, do all of the rest. And I did the same, used the same process again. I just drew little circles through each one just to make sure that each one was the same as the one below it. So I'm just going to now fit all of these with some of my shorter eyelets. And we will use our crocodile to clamp those down into place, like so. There we are. And then last but not least, and then that one in there. There we go. Job done. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. There we are, all present and correct. Now obviously decide what you're going to be using the most. I would probably want my labels at the front because I will probably be using those more than anything else. So pop them into the order that you like them. Then get your base. Oh, I'm so excited, I can't believe I'm finally getting this done. And I also can't believe how easy it was. After all this time. I'm going to pop that one through there. Should we do one ring at a time? It might make things a bit easier, mightn't it? Sorry, I can't do that with all those on there. It's annoying me. In your tin. Thank you. I'm afraid I'm going to knock them in my hand and then they're all going to go flying. So we've got one. And the great thing about this is if you want to just take one out, because for example you're doing something with your labels, so you just want your labels out, then you can open this up and just have your labels out on your desk. Voila. Right, there we go. Nicely done. And then bring that all the way up there. And close that. Superb. And then let's get another ring. They are all the same size, aren't they? Yeah. That one feels bent. Not quite sure why, because they're new, but okay. And then, hopefully, if my plan has worked, they should all now one, two, oh my goodness. That's amazing. Obviously my thing has started to curve now, so, but no, that's it. Yeah, look, how easy is that? Wow. I've impressed myself tonight. That is phenomenal. I love it. Look at that. How cool is that? All right, I will say my rings could probably be a bit smaller. That's a bit of overkill. That's like me wandering around with them. I don't hang out my ears. They'd be a bit big, wouldn't they? So perhaps on thing, but what it does do is it gives me lots of room now, so I can get, you know, excuse me, I can get a few more in there if I want to. It gives this room for this to grow, doesn't it? Because obviously once I start to fill these now, oh, I'm gonna go sit downstairs now and put all my labels away. I'm so excited, so excited. And I've got stacks of ephemera to cut out and put in there. So these now, look, will all sit in here and I'll be able to see what's in there. How cute. So when I'm doing my fussy cuts, how lush do they look in there? So I got all my Peter Rabbit stuff in there, like. Apologies, Beatrix Potter, I should say. And I've got a spot then for I can put my flashcards in one, I put my tickets in one. Oh, I can go and cut out all the new kit now, put that in there. Because it's all sat there waiting to be fussy cut, but I didn't want to do it until I knew they had somewhere to go. If that makes sense. I'm going to probably need a lot more of the shorter ones. So I'm going to make a smaller book tomorrow. And if you would like me to do this version and show you how I'm going to put them in here and bind them, can you write in the comments below? Because if you're quite happy to work this out after I've done this one, I won't repeat this tomorrow. But if you want to see how to put them in and how to bind them and how to attach the signatures this way, then please will you write in the comments below. If nobody comments that they want to see that tutorial, I won't bother with that one, okay? Like I said, I don't want to bore you, because you're not, I appreciate you're not all new to this, but yeah, so this is lush. I'm gonna go and sit and do this now after I've eaten my tea. There we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. I hope I kept it nice and simple for you. I hope you're now able to go away and work that yourself. Yes, biggest tip, 2 tips. Make sure that your eyelets are the right depth to go through the holes for whatever book you're using. And I don't know if I would use rungs quite this big. So what size did I say these were? 50mm, 2-inch diameter. I don't know if they come any smaller than that. What size are these ones on here then? Yeah, Bella's a smaller look. I think they're only 1 inch. Let's not guess, let's work it out. Oh no, they are 1.5 inches. I would say that's 1.5 inches diameter. So yeah, the difference is the 1/2 inch makes, no, that can't be right. No, they must be 1 inch. They look half the size, don't they? So yeah, I would go with a smaller rung, preferably, because they are rather large. But that's fine, I'm not going to be put off by that. Oh, now the bottom. Why did I leave the bit in the bottom? I'm going to show you now why. Because, where is it? Come here, you. Something else that I'm always not able to find and usually need when I'm working on my tags is my sari silk. In fact, the wheel it's on is just broken in half now. So what I thought was, I hope this will work now. It might not, it might be a terrible idea. But I thought I could thread through here a supply of stuff to go on the top of my tags. So when I want to make my tags, I've got a ready-made supply in here of whatever, sari silk, eyelash, and you could thread that through the bottom. Obviously, that's only if you're working with these. I'm just trying to think of creative ways to use what I've got here with me. But yeah, I just thought that would be quite a cool idea. Perhaps I could have a different colour on the bottom of each one, or just have them on the bottom. And then I can, you know, take them out as and when I need them. But this is all to hand together then, isn't it? Because very often, what do we need when we're doing tags? We want labels, the tags, which will be in the centre pocket, and then you want something to do it up with, don't you? So, I don't know, but I was just thinking perhaps I could bring that around there, maybe tie a bow in it, who knows? I'll have a play about with that after, but I just thought that would be quite neat. Good place to keep it all, you know. And then when it runs out, I can just top it back up. But I just thought that would look quite cute on there. So there we are. Anyway, make of that what you will. If you do make one, please put a picture on to the onto the group. Obviously, those of you who are following along with the 100-day challenge, you don't have to go and make one of these, but you do have to tidy up your ephemera today. That's your task for today, okay? Because I'm off now to finish my fussy cutting and to get all my ephemera tidied and put away into these 2 folders. I'll be back with you tomorrow, guys, I hope. Take care and keep safe, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for joining me. Bye.